Part 1. Understanding Tokopedia's business model context. Let us begin by looking at why Tokopedia is such a useful company to study. Tokopedia is one of Indonesia's most influential digital commerce platforms. But it is not just an online marketplace where buyers meet sellers. Its business model has evolved into a broader commerce ecosystem that connects consumers, merchants, brands, logistics providers, payment partners, and other supporting services. That wider context matters, because it changes how we should analyze the company. If we only see Tokopedia as a shopping app, we will miss the real sources of strategic value. The platform competes not only on product choice or pricing. It also competes on trust, merchant access, fulfillment coordination, digital payments, and the ability to generate demand across several digital touchpoints. This is where business model canvas becomes useful. It helps us see how Tokopedia creates value, delivers value, and captures value across a multi-sided platform, instead of focusing only on products. The framework helps us examine customer segments, propositions, channels, relationships, revenue, resources, activities, partnerships, and costs as one connected operating system. Tokopedia is also strategically interesting because its environment has changed materially. The company's operating context shifted after Goto's formation, and changed again after TikTok became Tokopedia's controlling shareholder in early 2024. While Goto remained a strategic partner, in 2025, the integrated Tokopedia and TikTok Shop Seller Center added another layer of operational coordination for merchants. At the same time, content-led commerce, creator influence, and regulatory scrutiny have become more important. A practical way to think about this is to compare Tokopedia today with a simple early-stage marketplace. A simple marketplace may only match buyers and sellers. Tokopedia now has to do much more. It must make discovery easier, transactions safer, fulfillment smoother, merchant operations simpler, and ecosystem relationships more productive. That is why Tokopedia deserves deeper study. In the next part, we will move from the big picture into the first core building blocks of the canvas, beginning with customer segments and value propositions. Part 2. Customer segments and value propositions. Now that we understand Tokopedia's broader context, we can look at the first two building blocks that shape the logic of the platform: customer segments and value propositions. Tokopedia serves a multi-sided market. On one side, it serves consumers who want convenience, broad product choice, competitive pricing, and trusted transactions. On another side, it serves MSMEs and microsellers that need digital storefronts, traffic, and access to national demand. The platform also serves enterprise brands that want official stores, stronger visibility, and better customer access. In addition, ecosystem partners such as logistics firms, payment providers, and service partners are also part of the system. This multi-sided segmentation is strategically important because each group reinforces the others. More consumers attract more sellers. More sellers improve assortment and price competition. Stronger brands improve trust. Better ecosystem partners increase convenience and transaction completion. In other words, Tokopedia's scale is not only about size. It is about interaction quality across multiple groups. Next, consider the value proposition. For buyers, Tokopedia offers wide assortment, price transparency, promotions, and a more trusted transaction environment. For small sellers, it lowers the barriers to digital commerce by providing ready-made infrastructure instead of forcing merchants to build their own e-commerce systems. For brands, it creates structured access to large digital audiences. For partners, it offers scalable demand and integration opportunities. The key teaching point here is that Tokopedia's value proposition is not one-dimensional. It does not win because it has a single feature. It wins when it reduces friction across the commerce journey. Think of a small merchant who wants to sell online. Without a platform like Tokopedia, that merchant may need to build a website, buy ads, manage payments, solve logistics, and create trust from scratch. Tokopedia simplifies that journey. On the consumer side, a buyer can compare options, review seller credibility, pay securely, and track fulfillment more easily. That is why the model becomes powerful. Tokopedia is not simply selling products to consumers. It is selling access, simplification, and trust to multiple sides of the market at the same time. With those first two blocks established, we can now move to how Tokopedia reaches users and keeps them engaged. That takes us into channels and customer relationships. Part 3. Channels, customer relationships, and revenue streams. The next step is to understand how Tokopedia reaches customers, how it keeps them engaged, and how it turns activity into revenue. Tokopedia's channels include the mobile app, website, notifications, CRM tools, social and content touchpoints, and ecosystem integrations. The mobile app remains the main hub for browsing, buying, selling, and participating in promotions. The website supports users who browse or manage stores through desktop access. Notifications and CRM tools help re-engage users and support retention. Social and content touchpoints matter more than before, because shopping discovery increasingly begins outside the marketplace itself. Ecosystem integrations with logistics and payments make the transaction journey more complete. This matters because digital commerce is no longer purely search. A user may discover a product through short-form video, creator content, an affiliate recommendation, or a campaign before ever opening a marketplace listing. Tokopedia therefore needs a channel strategy that converts fragmented attention into trusted commerce activity. Customer relationships are equally important. Tokopedia combines self-service tools, customer support, seller education, promotional mechanisms, and personalization. These are not operational details only. They are trust mechanisms. In a platform business, unresolved issues can damage both customer confidence and seller performance. Refund speed, dispute handling, seller communication, and product relevance all influence whether users return. Then we come to revenue streams. Tokopedia monetizes through marketplace fees, advertising solutions, value-added merchant tools, selected digital and service transactions, and ecosystem linked monetization. This diversification is important because it reduces dependence on a single source of revenue. Advertising becomes stronger when traffic has value. Merchant services become stronger when sellers need tools to perform better. Ecosystem monetization becomes stronger when users trust the broader transaction environment. Consider a simple example. If Tokopedia only charged seller fees, its economics would be more exposed to fee resistance. But if merchants also pay for better visibility, better tools, and better conversion support, monetization becomes more flexible and strategically healthier. So the lesson from this part is clear. Tokopedia's channels bring users in. Its relationship model helps retain them, and its revenue structure captures value from multiple parts of the commerce journey. In the next part, we will examine the internal engine behind that system. Key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost structure. Part 4, the operating engine behind Tokopedia. To understand whether Tokopedia's model is sustainable, we need to examine the internal engine that keeps the platform running. This means looking at key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost structure. Tokopedia's key resources are mostly digital rather than physical. They include platform technology, data and algorithms, brand trust, the merchant base, and ecosystem links. Technology supports search, transactions, and seller operations. Data improves recommendations, fraud control, and advertising performance. Brand trust encourages both buyers and sellers to participate. The merchant base creates assortment and marketplace depth. Partnerships extend the company's capabilities beyond what it could do alone. Next, consider key activities. Tokopedia must keep improving platform development, merchant onboarding, merchant enablement, demand generation, trust and safety, compliance, and partner integration. These activities reinforce one another. Better seller tools improve listings and service quality. Better demand generation attracts more buyers. Stronger compliance and trust controls reduce friction and protect long-term usage. Key partnerships are equally structural. Logistics providers support fulfillment across Indonesia. Payment and financial service partners improve checkout flexibility and transaction support. TikTok and other ecosystem affiliates strengthen discovery and traffic integration. Brands and merchants create supply and campaign activity. Regulators and public stakeholders shape operating legitimacy. This leads directly to cost structure. Tokopedia bears major costs in technology, infrastructure, sales and marketing, customer and seller support, incentives, promotions, compliance, governance, and ecosystem coordination. These costs are necessary, but they also create a strategic tension. Tokopedia must keep the platform attractive enough to grow while improving economics over time. A practical example makes this easier to understand. A company can always grow faster in the short term by spending heavily on promotions, discounts, and traffic acquisition, but that does not always create durable value. The stronger model is one where platform quality, seller productivity, repeat usage, and monetization efficiency improve together. That is why Tokopedia's operating engine matters so much. Growth alone is not enough. The platform must convert scale into sustainable performance. In the final part, we will bring everything together through the value proposition canvas. Competitor comparison, strategic advantages, risks, and recommendations. Part 5, Value Fit, Competition, Risks, and Strategic Direction. In this final part, we bring the analysis together by looking at value fit. competition, risks, and strategic recommendations. The value proposition canvas helps explain why Tokopedia's model works when it works well. Buyers want quick discovery, secure payment, reliable fulfillment, and lower transaction risk. Sellers want digital storefronts, customer reach, manageable daily operations, and growth without building a full commerce system themselves. Tokopedia responds with marketplace infrastructure, seller tools, promotional features, payment support, logistics-linked workflows, buyer protection, reviews, ratings, support systems, and governance mechanisms. The fit happens when Tokopedia reduces effort and risk for both sides at the same time. Buyers get easier shopping and more trust. Sellers get simpler operations and better market access. When both sides benefit, the platform becomes stronger as participation grows. That is the core strategic fit. Competition then becomes easier to interpret. Shopee is the closest marketplace comparison because it competes aggressively on campaigns, pricing intensity, and user activity. TikTok Shop matters because it is reshaping demand generation through content-led discovery and creator influence. Lazada is relevant because it represents a more regionally structured model with strong infrastructure and brand participation. These comparisons show that Tokopedia is not competing in a generic e-commerce market. It is competing in a market where marketplace scale, content discovery, ecosystem integration, and trust increasingly determine strategic advantage. Tokopedia's competitive strength includes strong brand recognition, deep relevance to MSMEs, wide ecosystem connections, a large merchant base, and the ability to combine marketplace infrastructure with seller enablement. At the same time, risks remain significant. The platform faces intense competition, margin pressure, regulatory scrutiny, service consistency challenges, and dependence on effective post-integration execution. That is why the strategic direction matters. Tokopedia should focus less on pure scale and more on quality of growth. It should deepen seller segmentation, improve integrated seller workflows, strengthen trust signals around product quality and dispute handling, and grow monetization through higher value merchant services and more efficient advertising. It should also continue demonstrating open access and fair governance, especially in a tightly watched market. The central lesson is simple but important. Tokopedia wins not by acting as a simple online store, but by coordinating a large digital commerce ecosystem. If it can continue improving seller productivity, buyer trust, and ecosystem discipline, it can remain one of the most important digital commerce platforms in Indonesia. That brings the full canvas into focus. We began with Tokopedia's broader business context, moved through the core BMC blocks, and finished by showing how value fit, competition, and execution discipline shape the company's future.